Hello and good morning. So the last time we vlogged was a week ago, and we talked about politics and tourism. So we touched on areas that political development has enhanced in tourism. That is in terms of growth of tourists attraction sites. We are talking of national reserves, museums, our rivers and lakes. We are talking about natural features. We are talking about our mountains, you know. So we came to a conclusion that in any case, the development in infrastructure, in terms of water, and roads, it has really enhanced the coming of tourists. So apart from that, we have our culture and beliefs, and this is where mostly our religion comes in, you know. Some tourists come to Kenya, or most tourists who come to Kenya that are attracted by religion are missionaries, you know, people who come to preach the gospel of God. So these missionaries come to churches, and you'll find that they come to churches around the country. So in this case, personally, I fellowship at Memorial Church School in Thika. So at this church called Memorial, it has a hotel, so there are facilities around it. So we have hotels around it. We have Blue Post Hotel, which also is a tourist attraction site, which has a waterfall. And we have other hotels around it. We have clubs like Sailor's Address. We have others like Jogo Kemakia restaurant. So there are restaurants around it. So there are different attraction sites for tourists. And in this case, whereby we are talking about Memorial Church School, there are various features around it. As I've talked about a waterfall, so there are rivers around it. So and tourists come generally to see these things. So the setting up of schools and churches around the country was brought about by missionaries. So in nowadays, we have tourists coming in as missionaries, and they really help in spreading the gospel of God. So apart from that, we have tourist attraction sites around the country that are mainly developed the tourist attraction sites that are developed by different politicians. So you find how does politics affect tourism? You find that if tourism has become an economy booster, so you'll find different politicians investing in different national reserves, whereby you have whereby you have sanctuaries and hotels and mostly restaurants. So mainly in Kenya, we have tourists setting up their houses in Mount Kenya region, in Eastern region, Rift Valley region, and the coast. Those are the main provinces. Those are the main provinces where tourism is practiced. So we have the biggest game reserve in Kenya, being Masai Mara National Reserve. So Masai Mara National Reserve hosts the wild beast migration, and wild beasts in this case are among the big five. They are amongst the big five. We are talking about the elephant, the hippo, the giraffe, the wild beast, and the lion. So they are the big five. And in this migration, whereby we have wild beasts moving from Tanzania to Kenya, they cross rivers, and there is survival for the fittest, whereby you find some wildebeest will cross, some will die in the river, and some will be consumed by crocodiles. So that's a very good example of a national reserve in Kenya. And at such a point whereby we have this interaction between animals. So you have this interaction between these animals. You'll find that developers will develop hotels and restaurants. So in this case, these hotels we are talking about, like the Savo Hill National Reserve Hotel, whereby you find houses that are suspended up in the air. They are set up in an African way, whereby they are placed on top of piers which support the houses, and you are able to see elephants splashing water on themselves, drinking water, eating grass as they migrate south and north. So these restaurants were developed long time ago, and within time they've become monuments. So what do I mean by the term monument? Monument is a structure that when you see it, you associate it with a certain country or a certain region. So in this case, these structures have been developed by different people, by different designers, and they become tourist attraction sites. And this enhances our national heritage, you know. Tourism is a broad topic, as we covered last time. There are national tourists. Okay, there are local tourists, national tourists, and international tourists. They're in different categories, but mostly national tourists is like local tourists. They're just people within the same country. So the East African bloc, the East African community in Kenya has enhanced movement around the different countries. So you can move from Kenya to Uganda, Kenya to Tanzania, and Kenya to other East African community member countries by use of an ID. So you move from Kenya to Tanzania, from Kenya to Uganda. And this is tourism. From one country to another, you've also traveled. So, the development of infrastructure in Kenya has attracted a lot of tourists, but if you are a layman, you won't understand it. If you are a layman, you won't understand the fact that this is a tourist because he looks exactly like you and maybe speaks in Swahili, but he's a Tanzanian or a Ugandan. So the boost in development in infrastructure was remarkable, and movement is very important. Movement from one country to another, either through air, either through road, or by sea, is very important. So as a sign off from the video, I would promote tourism in our country. And how do you do this? If you can be able to move even within your local area, just move. If you have that time during the weekends after work or on your off days, you can move around a radius of 10 kilometers and you won't miss something new that you've not seen, or something interesting. So thank you. Subscribe to my vlog or watch it however you want it. So my name's Victor Mwangi. My YouTube handle is Victor Mwangi H8C. Thank you.